Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila is going to supplicate Tilly. Brooke falls off a boat in Italy. Electra is pushed in a new direction. Sheila is formerly reeling over Luna death. After encountering Lee, Sheila asked about a service. She was devastated and stunned when Lee claimed it had formerly been handled. That's the same thing Lee said when Finn failed. Over in Italy, Brooke, Ridge, and Eric get to work. There will be speeches, interviews, shutterbugs, and a fashion show. Once Brooke's part is done, she'll go sightseeing with Nick. Nick is on a road in Italy, and asks a man where he can get a boat. Nick seems enough frantic and Brooke is with him at the time. Brooke spurts off on a boat with Ridge. It's also teased that Brooke falls into the water. Still, will Nick or Ridge end up saving her life? Will encourages a new career path for Electra? Will pushes his gal to get into modeling? With her history with Remy, will she ever feel comfortable in front of a camera again? Steffi get ready to say a temporary farewell. Steffi told Liam that she was taking the kiddies out of city for a bit. Wanted to get out for a while with the children. With Steffi gone and Daphne after Carter again, could Liam and Hope reunite? Finn and Bridget continue probing Liam's phenomenon. Grace can't avoid answering questions ever. Did Liam ever really have excrescence? What will Bill do when he finds out that he formerly again fell for a con? Grace may have muffed Liam's surgery, and there could be serious consequences. Brain surgery is no joke, and one wrong nick with a scalpel could change Liam's entire personality. When Liam begins his recovery trip, he begin acting strange and out of character. Finn is formerly suspicious of Grace's million bone surgery. Finn and Bridget are on the case and determined to get to the bottom of what happened in that operating room. Still, they will figure it out ultimately, if Grace did commodity to Liam while he was under. There may not be anything they can do to repair the damage Grace did. Grace didn't perform any operation and conned Bill. What if she did do brain surgery and in her haste damaged part of Liam's brain and altered his personality, wrathfulness, recollections, or indeed commodity further? Liam wouldn't be the same man that he was before surgery. When Thomas had excrescence, he was carrying around a Hope Logan mannequin. Could removing Liam's excrescence have an analogous effect on him? Indeed worse, Bill's son could come angry or violent if she damaged certain corridor of his brain. Grace Buckingham actually performed a brain surgery. Liam going to be a completely different person post-operation? Grace has a grand meltdown after transferring Bill 1 million bone payment to an outside account. They didn't show the philanthropist of the large sum of cash, only Grace's meltdown after she completed the transfer. Grace or perhaps one of her daughters is in serious trouble. She generally doesn't break the law, so her highway robbery scheme is out of character for her. It's apparent that commodity is going on with her, but no bone really knows the details, at least not yet. Dr. Bridget corners Grace about Liam. She inquires on why she discharged Liam so soon after his life-saving projectile surgery. Liam nearly failed after Luna pulled the detector on him. He wanted to cover Steffi from the crazy killer. In addition to the projectile crack, Liam believed he was dying of an inoperable brain excrescence. Grace diagnosed Liam with a terminal brain excrescence, giving him time to live. Grace came up with a surgery to remove his excrescence after he survived Luna's attack. She told Bill it would bring AM, but there was a catch. It couldn't take place at the sanitarium, and it had to be a secret. Bill jumped at the chance to save his son's life. He incontinently transferred the cash to the shady croaker. But now, Finn and Bridget are hot on her trail and believe there's commodity minatory about Grace's jest. Reese is behind the fiddle. Reese is no foreigner to breaking the law. Several times agone, he abducted Hope and Liam's son. He delivered her baby in a shady clinic in Catalina and told them their baby girl failed. He also told Taylor that he'd set up a baby for Steffi to borrow. He arranged for the illegal relinquishment. Steffi named the baby Phoebe after her binary family. She took care of this sweet baby for several months before it was revealed that Phoebe was actually Beth. Liam and Spencer learned the verity and attained guardianship of their son. Steffi willingly gave her back, indeed if it broke her heart. Reese fled to avoid the fallout. Latterly, we learned he was in captivity. It's possible he earned his release and is back to his felonious ways. Reese could be blackmailing Grace. If not, she transferred the 1 million bone payout too. Finn will have a tough time accepting the fact that Liam excrescence has been miraculously cured. It's starting to make sense why the croaker is so interested in Liam's prognostic. Is there a hop reunion passing right under his nose? Finn and Bridget are puzzled by Dr. Grace reports on Liam's surgery. Why does Finn watch so important? Still, his marriage to Steffi could be in serious trouble if Liam is going to live. Finn no way sounded to mind how important time Liam and Steffi were spending together, because he was dying. The good croaker would have looked like a monster if he didn't let Liam spend his last days with his family. Still, Finn and Steffi are going to have a converse about boundaries, if Liam's excrescence is gone and Buckingham's reports are true. Steffi blew her top when Finn was spending too important time with Hope. If Liam has several times of life ahead of him, there's no need for him and Steffi to keep spending so important time together. When Finn tries to have a tough convo with his woman about how Liam is affecting their marriage, she snappily shuts him down. Some serious trouble coming up in the Shin house, and no bone would be shocked if Finn tried to set some restrictions on his woman. Snappily taking in the scene as Sheila sat with her bottom bleeding out onto the bottom and Luna lying unconscious hard, Finn turned his focus to Liam as he tried to put pressure on the pellet crack in his casket. Sheila called Liam a stalwart man and, looking at her unconscious granddaughter, rumored, "Luna, what have you done?" As enchantresses were heard in the distance, Finn prompted Steffi to go meet the paramedics outdoors. Steffi watched helplessly as the EMTs tended to Liam. Eventually freed from the room where Luna had kept her tied up, Ms. Dillon was frightened by the holocaust Miss Sunshine had caused, and Finn assured her it wasn't her fault. Finn stepped over to help the paramedic working on Luna, and the police officer asked Steffi for details about Miss Nozawa soliciting her there with the intention of killing her. But Steffi could only concentrate on Liam, and Finn streamlined the police on everyone's injuries. Presented with the gun for evidence, Steffi offered a Gadarene explanation of the events that led to the blow-ups. As they wheeled them all into the sanitarium, Grace appeared and snappily took Luna to an examination room while Finn went with Liam. Steffi was hopeless for an update, but Finn had nothing to tell her yet as Liam had to go into the OR incontinently. The Bobbies continued trying to question Steffi about the other victims' involvement, so she explained that Sheila showed up to help and was shot in the struggle. Just also, Lee arrived, and Steffi ignored the officer to fill her in. "Liam's been shot," she cried. "By Luna. He's lost so important blood. We can't lose him. We can't lose him." Lee was stunned as Steffi filled her in on everything that Luna had done and had to fight to her bastard's side as Grace declared they had to get her into surgery incontinently and joined in rushing her to the OR. "I know Luna's your son," Steffi tearfully informed Finn. "But after what she did moment, if she survives and Liam does and I do'n't know what I'm gonna do." Sheila was concerned about her granddaughter and wanted an update, but Finn had to go and left her in Grace's care. Grace noted Liam was her case, but Finn claimed she'd deal with Sheila. Before Liam was taken into the operating room, Steffi took a quick moment to kiss him on the forepart. Sheila continued to fret about her granddaughter before she was put under anesthesia. In another OR, Bridget and Lee worked frenetically on Luna. They ultimately set up the pellet, but Lee claimed they had to leave it in for fear she'd bleed out. "I refuse to let my bastard die this way," the croaker declared forcefully. Steffi sat in gashes as the officer offered some support, suggesting that Liam was a strong man with 2 daughters to fight for. Steffi thanked him and stopped a passing nanny so she could supplicate to see Liam. The nanny said she wasn't allowed in the OR, but could watch from an observation room. As she entered and looked through the glass, Steffi saw Finn performing surgery to try and save Liam's life, and they changed upset aesthetics. While Finn operated, Steffi took a moment to call Hope to inform her that Liam was in the sanitarium and presently in surgery. Hope naturally assumed it was because of the brain excrescence, and was stunned when Steffi revealed he'd been shot by Luna. She passed the news along to Carter, and they incontinently headed to the sanitarium. Grace was sewing up Sheila's bottom, grimly remarking that her injury was ain't life hanging, but Liam and Luna's were. Steffi watched in horror as Finn desperately tried to keep Liam stable. "Oh, Liam, you need to fight," Steffi prayed still. "You need to fight. Kelly needs further time with you." "We all do." Bridget was sewing up Luna, and Lee said she wanted to be the one to inform Poppy about what happened to her son. Suddenly, Luna's condition took a turn, and she began bleeding as her pressure dropped rashly.